On this edition of the Law Firm Marketing Podcast, we talk with Google and Yahoo pay-per-click expert Jayson Rodda from ROI, and in our quick tip, we give you something that potentially will drive lots of business to your firm. Thanks for joining me on the Law Firm Marketing Podcast. My name is Dan Toombs, and it's good to have you with us on another edition of this podcast that is helping professional services firms everywhere on how to effectively market themselves. This podcast is proudly brought to you by Grow Your Firm, the marketing company that not only does web strategy, design, development, social media, and SEO, but through its work is growing firms with its online marketing strategies. Now you can find out more about Grow Your Firm at www.growyourfirm.com.au. That's www.growyourfirm.com.au. If you're outside Australia, then make sure you remember to put the .au on the end. Most businesses just accept that those who come to their website and dive in and then dive out are more than likely lost propositions. Well, through Google, it's no longer the case. What if I told you that there is technology that will track every person who comes to your website and then will follow them on other sites that they go, of which your pay-per-click advertisement will appear right there in front of them? So, for example, if you're a family law firm and a potential client comes to your site and then soon leaves, a script, or what's called a cookie, attaches itself to them, and then any site that they see or they go to, which is a part of the Google Content Network, will show your pay-per-click ad. The whole concept is called retargeting, and if you want to learn more about how this can work for your firm, then simply contact us at Grow Your Firm on 1300 886 322, or of course at our website www.growyourfirm.com.au. But really interesting stuff, and a great strategy if you want to be in front of a potential client on numerous occasions. Of which we know from all the marketing research works, and I suspect this is why Google has now integrated this functionality into their Google AdWords campaigns. Jayson Rodda is a Google AdWords expert who heads up pay-per-click at Australia's leading SEO company, roi.com.au. Given the great response I had last fortnight to our podcast with the ROI director, Ewan Watt, on SEO generally, I thought that while it was still fresh in your mind, we'd weave in the very close relative of SEO, and that being pay-per-click campaigns. Well, thanks, Jayson, for joining us on the Law Firm Marketing Podcast. Mate, there's a lot of talk around pay-per-click, currently. A lot of people out there just don't know what it is. What is pay-per-click?
Yeah, Dan, pay-per-click, basically involves where you put paid advertisements up on the major search engines, and you can, visitors will come through, click on your ads, and there's an associated cost. Mm-hmm. It's mostly on, Google AdWords, and you can do it on Yahoo and Bing as well. And it's an effective way to generate some, quick traffic through to your website.
Right. So when we talk about those ads, we're talking specifically, are we, about, when you do a Google search, those first two or three searches that are in a beige yellow? Is that what we sort of commonly refer to as pay-per-click?
Yeah, definitely. I guess that's been a recent change. It's probably happened over the last 6 to sort of 12 months where, the pay-per-click ads are starting to appear up the top. Yep. Of Google, and you'll see them, appearing down the right-hand side of Google as well. So they're the paid ads. That's been the change in the past. If you were number one for Google Organic, you'd be in that top left position up the top. now you find that the pay-per-click ads are starting to take a little bit of that space away.
Is there any talk about that beige yellow becoming any more beige than what it is? At this point in time, is it at times sort of difficult to try and ascertain what is the paid search and what isn't? Particularly on some browsers. Is there much talk about that you know of?
Yeah, well, I think going back a few years ago, talking with customers, the general consensus out there was there'd be certain people out there that would just never click on the ad. I think it's a little bit different these days. It's sort of, sometimes camouflaged a little bit. And, if somebody's looking for a particular search and they see something up the top that looks like it's relevant and, something that could be of interest to them, they'll probably click on that regardless of whether it's a paid search or an organic listing, not really knowing the difference. Yeah, okay.
And so PPC, is it just those returns on search pages that we're talking about, or are we talking more broadly about being on a website and ads popping up? Do we categorise that as PPC as well?
Yeah, that's definitely another part of PPC.
Yep.
That's sort of referred to as generally the Google Display Network.
Right.
That's where people that own those particular websites can earn revenue by having ads appearing on their websites. Going back a little while ago, when people started out with a Google AdWords account, a default setting would be to let them display on the display network.
Yeah.
That can be quite profitable if it's done correctly, but if you've got a set and forget sort of approach, it can be a quick way that you're going to burn some money.
Burn some money, well. Yeah. Is that just a text ad or is it an image ad as well? Or can be both, I suppose, is it?
You've got the choice.
Yeah.
It really depends on the website as to what types of ads it allows. When you're setting up an AdWords account in particular, you've got the choice to do text ads. You've got the choice of multiple sizes of banner ads. Once you sort of delve into the data that's available within your AdWords account, you can start to see what are the particular sites that are giving you better returns. You can start to obviously adjust your bids and get a bit more prominence on those good sites.
Gotcha.
At the ones that just don't work for your business.
Okay. I was just listening to an interview recently with Mike Rhodes, who was talking about cookies and the importance of cookies insofar as, when somebody comes on your website, being able to sort of chase that person around, showing them relevant ads. Is that a new trend?
Yeah, well, what you're referring to there is called remarketing.
Yeah.
That's something that's probably been around for about 6 months now.
Wow.
And it's very effective. We find that when you the conversion rates on getting somebody to come back through to your website a second time, you tend to find that those conversion rates tend to be a little bit higher than what it might be for a first-time person coming through. So that's getting into the advanced sort of features of AdWords.
Yeah.
And, the advertisers that are embracing that are, getting some good results from it.
Yeah. I mean, hence the reason why you really do need, a company behind you that does this type of stuff, because it is just so advanced. I mean, my mind boggles at listening to where the trend is going.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah. I know, within our team here at ROI, we've got, with all the changes, Google's constantly,
That was Jayson Rodda from roi.com.au. Now, if you're contemplating an SEO campaign in your firm, then make sure you contact Grow Your Firm. ROI are our SEO partners, and we have joint packages that bring to you the best of both worlds with a marketing strategy that literally covers all bases. You can contact Grow Your Firm at www.growyourfirm.com.au. That's it for this edition of the Law Firm Marketing Podcast. I hope you've got something out of it. Join me again next week for a really interesting discussion with someone from the US who is doing some really interesting things. Until then, stay safe.